a real pleasure for me on this evening of celebrating Curtin University's academic status, its Australian values and Australian culture that we bring to Malaysia to share. A real pleasure indeed to be able to introduce to you the Vice-Chancellor of Curtin University, Professor Deborah Terry. I'm inviting her to deliver her welcoming speech. However, I'm also introducing before the speech a short video we would like you all to see. Thank you and welcome.
Deserves a round of applause. Thank you, Jim. Welcome all. What a great occasion this is. 20 years of Curtin Malaysia. So much to reflect on and to celebrate. And it's wonderful that so many people who helped to establish this great campus and who have contributed to its progress are with us tonight. May I particularly acknowledge Governor Tun Payin Sri Taib and To Puan, Minister YB Datu Sri Michael Mannion, High Commissioner His Excellency Andrew Golidzinowski, Chancellor Curtin University Dr Andrew Crane, Pro-Chancellor Curtin Malaysia Datuk Petinggi Dr George Chan, and of course President and Chief Executive Curtin Malaysia Professor Jim Min Tchaikovsky. And can I say how delighted we are that so many esteemed colleagues and friends of Curtin Malaysia are here with us tonight. When we celebrated Curtin's 50th anniversary a couple of years ago, we realised how much the early character of the institution had shaped our fortunes. Curtin has always been forward-looking, always bold. This character has fuelled our growth and evolution, and it has established our reputation as a university that isn't afraid to tread new ground. And 20 years ago, it positioned us to enter into the wonderful partnership that sees us all gathered here tonight. When a successful businessman from Sarawak visited our Perth campus in 1997 to float the idea of Curtin establishing a college in the little-known town of Miri, there was no script for the university to follow. While Curtin had a number of successful twinning partnerships operating in Asia, the concept of a permanent, physical, overseas presence was a whole new proposition. And not just for Curtin. Australian universities across the board had very little experience in this space. And I've no doubt that many universities would have shied away from this unexpected and untested proposal. Luckily, the bold idea of Mr. Lau Si Wow, who favoured Curtin because of the education it had provided for two of his own children, would get a good hearing from the then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Lance Toomey, who we are delighted is with us here tonight. Like the Curtin leaders before him, Professor Toomey was keen to look to the future, to see the possibilities and the opportunities they might offer. After some careful investigation, it became clear that the idea had legs and that benefits would flow both ways. A private university in Sarawak would help to address the limited higher education opportunities for young people in East Malaysia, and it would support regional growth. For Curtin, this was an important next step in advancing our global ambitions, and discussions and negotiations progressed at lightning speed, especially by university standards. And then what happened was that Miri's civil and political leaders came enthusiastically on board, followed by the state government, and the original idea of a small college suddenly evolved into a fully fledged campus. And there were a number of important champions of the proposal that must be given credit. At the Sarawak end, the early support of the then Chief Minister, Taib, and his cabinet helped to secure Curtin's commitment. And we are honoured to have Tun Taib, now Governor, with us here this evening. Deputy Chief Minister Tan Sri Dr George Chan and Senator and State Assemblyman YB Lee Kim Shin then took up the baton. At the Curtin end, the enthusiasm of Vice-Chancellor Toomey was matched by the then Chancellor, the late Harry Perkins. Harry was a very successful businessman, highly respected in the Western Australian community, and he convinced the university's governing body of the merit of the idea. Within a year of signing an MOU, foundation courses were being offered at the temporary campus, and then the magnificent new campus was completed just 3 years later, and Curtin Malaysia would go from strength to strength. Fortune favours the bold, as they say, and as was acknowledged at the time, this was a leap into the unknown. But what an important leap it was. This was a pivotal moment in Curtin's history when our international ambitions really took flight. Establishing our campus in Malaysia gave us the experience and the confidence to open 3 more overseas campuses around the Indian Ocean Rim, including Singapore, Dubai and Mauritius. 20 years on, we've just extended our agreement by another 20 years. This wasn't a difficult decision. Malaysia's first recognised branch campus is now achieving what it set out to do, becoming a world-class campus with a reputation for first-class teaching, producing excellent graduates, conducting high-quality research, and becoming a major contributor to the region's economic and social development. And of course, the campus keeps going from strength to strength, including the news that Curtin Malaysia achieved a 5-star rating in 2018 for the 4th year in a row. The fact that all of our courses are fully accredited in both Australia and in Malaysia. The decision to roll out a range of new courses in cybersecurity, software engineering, health, architecture, to name just a few. The recent opening of a state-of-the-art science and engineering building. The completion of a major pilot plant facility, generously supported by both federal and state governments. Soon to be completed new engineering research lab, a simulated trading room for our business students. And of course, we now see more than 300 of our Perth-based students each year being involved in programs offered here in Malaysia. And tomorrow we will graduate a record number of students, 735, including 12 PhDs, bringing the total number of graduates across the past 20 years to more than 7,000. So thanks to the vision, the friendship and the leadership of many people in this room tonight, the future is looking very bright for Curtin Malaysia. As our flagship overseas campus, Curtin Malaysia will always hold a special place in our heart. It put us on an important path and it sets the bar very high for our other overseas campuses. We thank Datuk Patinggi George, our Pro-Chancellor here in Malaysia, for your leadership, your vision and your friendship. A powerful example of the strong link between our campuses was demonstrated by Datuk Katingi when he spoke at our 50th year anniversary. I remember being profoundly moved when he used the words of our namesake, the former Prime Minister of Australia, John Curtin, to illustrate the importance of what has been achieved here in Malaysia. The power of education as a vehicle of soft diplomacy should never be underestimated. Education builds mutual respect, mutual understanding, and mutually beneficial partnerships and friendships. In my view, the successful universities of the future will be those that genuinely collaborate and contribute on the global stage. As my colleagues have heard me say on other occasions, Curtin is now recognised as being in the top 1% of world universities, having risen more steeply in the most prestigious of university rankings in recent years than any other Australian university. What has been achieved here at Curtin Malaysia has played a key role in this success story. We look forward to continuing to work together not only to strengthen the campus and the university, but to help build a stronger, more prosperous and stable future for our two nations and the regions more broadly. Congratulations, Curtin Malaysia. I hope you all enjoy this evening. Thank you very much.